It's a great day at the Academy of Scholars. Welcome to another episode of Scholarly Speaking Live with Dr. Stacy Lambert-Johnson, the Director of Student Success at the Academy of Scholars. I am Benny Crane Jr., the Assistant Director of Student Success. Today's topic will discuss what parents can do to help their child's teacher.
Thank you for joining us for today's live session. No matter where you're joining us from, whether you're at work or at home, we pray that you're having a great AOS day and hope that you can visit us here on campus someday soon. So last week, to show our moms how much we love them, we talked about how to show your mom that you care. This week, in honor of teachers, we're discussing what parents can do to help their child's teacher. But before we get started, Benny, where can our viewers watch today's live session once it's over?
As always, everything from this show ends up on our website, academyofscholars.com, including both the audio and video versions. If you prefer watching us each week, you can find the video version on our Facebook page, YouTube channel, LinkedIn, and Instagram. If you're looking for something entertaining to listen to on your drive to work, you can download the audio version anywhere you download your favorite podcast. Now, shout out to all those people who are joining us live today. And to those of you who follow us on our social media platforms, we appreciate you joining us. Now, do us a favor, tell your friends we're on. All you have to do is hit that share button right there, comment, and tell us about your relationship with your child's teacher. What kind of things are you doing at home to make the teacher's job easier? Did you even know this was possible? Tell us, we want to know.
So Benny, I have a joke for you.
Okay.
All right. How is an English teacher like a judge?
How?
They both give out sentences. Get it? Sentences?
I thought I was supposed to do the dad jokes, jokes.
Well, I'll just stick to my day job. How about that? Anyway, today we're talking about teachers. We all have a story about a favorite teacher or a not so favorite teacher, right? Whatever our experiences were in school, we all have stories about how someone that taught us in school had an impact on our lives, whether it was positive or negative. Now, we've shared our stories in the past on past SSL episodes, so I'm not going to discuss that today. I think that everyone would agree that teaching is a difficult job. I don't know how many times I've heard this, Benny, and I know you have as well. I don't know how y'all do it, but I could never be a teacher in this day and age. And as often as I've heard it, my response is always the same. Teaching is not for the faint of heart, okay? It's a calling. And those of us who are called don't see teaching as work. We see it as a labor of love.
And what's crazy about it for me, Stacy, is no matter what I do, and I know this is true about you too, I do it like a teacher. And that's how I know it's a calling and not just a job we do. Right. We basically write lesson plans for Scholarly Speaking Live, for crying out loud.
We do.
And when I share with people how our days are like, they are blown away. But these same days that make people shake their heads and say, ain't no way, are what we live for.
Absolutely.
We're always teaching too, in the hallways, in the cafeteria, on the playground, at recess, at carpool line, at dismissal, and we love it.
We absolutely do. Now, because we know how difficult it is to be a teacher and we know how hard teachers work, we wanted to share ways that parents can help their child's teacher. Now, these are things that parents can do when their children at home or with their children at home to make the teacher's day a lot easier. First, parents can make sure their child's day gets off to a smooth start. That's the first thing.
Yes.
Arguing or fussing at your child right before they enter the school building is a no-no.
Please don't do
This
that.
starts their day off on a negative slope and causes the teacher to have to spend extra time getting that child's mind back on school and her attitude back on a positive note. Instead, make sure you hug your child before they leave, look them in the eye, and tell them how much you love them and how proud you are of them. You can even pray with them.
Yes.
This will build your child's self-confidence and security and help to ensure that they have a good day at school.
To this point, I want to add, when your children get to school, elementary school in particular, the likelihood is they're about to spend more time with their teacher than you will that day. Think about it like this. If you drop your child off at 8 and pick him up at 3, that's 7 hours. If you woke him up and spent a full hour with him before school, the two of you would have to spend time together in each other's presence up until 9 o'clock that night just to match the time he spent with the teacher. Your child's teacher's importance is immense. How many mothers out there have been called Miss Teacher's name when your child was intending to say mommy?
Or how many teachers have been called mommy?
Right. So following this advice from today can help increase the effectiveness of your child's teacher, which ultimately benefits your child.
That's true. Now, second, be your child's happy landing at the end of the day when they get out of school. Before you do anything else, have a predictable routine where you listen to your child for about 10 to 20 minutes talk about their day. This gives your child a touchstone between home and school, someone they know they can count on to listen to them. Now, this helps your child's teacher because if you're not listening, the teacher becomes the touchstone, which is fine, but not when they're trying to get through a lesson or split their time between 20 other students.
Yes, and for those of you who don't know, AOS invests in our scholars' social and emotional development every day with morning meetings. Now, when people think of school, I think they are only thinking about developing a child's IQ, when one of the most important aspects of human beings is our EQ, our emotional intelligence. And we recognize the importance of developing children's EQ. So each day, teachers dedicate the first 30 minutes of the day to social and emotional learning. Now, during this time, teachers are praying with scholars, talking to them about character, and allowing scholars to share their thoughts and feelings. This, in many ways, is the most important part of the day because it sets the tone for the day. And just like Stacy advised with the first suggestion about the importance of getting your child's day off to a smooth start, teachers are making sure scholars' school day begins with a smooth start socially and emotionally by building community in the classroom, connecting scholars' hearts and minds each day.
Yes, they are. Now, third, and this may seem simple enough, but make sure your child gets a healthy breakfast each day. A hungry child is a hangry child or a withdrawn child. Giving your child a daily, well-balanced breakfast maximizes your child's learning potential, which in turn adds to an environment conducive to learning.
And let me say this about breakfast. Stacy suggested a healthy breakfast each day. And just know, you're not helping your child's teacher if that breakfast is full of sugar. One, they'll come in revved up, which might be a problem for the teacher. And two, they'll eventually crash, which will definitely be a problem for the teacher. So the emphasis here is on healthy breakfast, and that's important. Breakfast choices like eggs, fruit, especially berries, Greek yogurt, oatmeal, and whole grain breads are excellent. Basically, it's like this. If the breakfast looks too tasty to be healthy, it probably is.
So my syrupy waffles, that's not, I need to, okay, all right. Enough said. Now, fourth, make sure your child has calm, peaceful afternoons and evenings. And make sure they get enough rest. Children who are running from activity to activity, staying up late because they got home late from these activities, and doing homework in a rush late at night are at a great disadvantage. They will more than likely be sleepy and cranky at school, won't be able to focus, and get lower grades. Providing a calm, peaceful routine at home takes the stress of rushing away, allowing your child to take their time and not be overwhelmed by not having enough time.
Stacy, as you go through these things, it just reminds me how hard parenting is.
It is.
Having a consciousness of the impact of the things we do in our homes have on our children just can be overwhelming. Most parents care about being good parents and knowing you have to manage how much sleep they get, what kind of meals they eat, how much time you spend with them, and you have to try to get along with everybody in the house. And when you don't see eye to eye with someone, try to handle it in a way that doesn't negatively impact your child. I mean, all this stuff is scary. But it's okay.
It's okay.
We can do this.
Yes.
And the best thing to do is the best you can.
Absolutely.
Make a schedule, create a routine, and try to stick to it. Set alarms on your phone as a reminder so time doesn't get away from you. Because doing something like making sure your child has a calm, peaceful, restful night, most importantly, benefits your child, and it will also benefit your child's teacher, which will also benefit you.
Absolutely. Now, fifth, and we've talked about this before in Scholarly Speaking Live 44, resist the urge to do your child's homework for them. Remember, it's their homework, not yours, okay? Allow them to do the work on their own. You can then go back and identify ones that they got wrong and work with them on correcting the wrong answer. If you do your child's work for them, the teacher will never know what they do and don't know. Plus, as we discussed before, failure allows for feedback. Feedback that helps us to make connections and help our brains to grow.
Yes, and parents, the advice here is don't do your child's homework, which is different from making sure your child does her homework. Stacy's advice here is not to absolve us from making sure our children are taking care of their business.
Right.
It really helps your child's teacher to ensure your child is getting the practice she needs by doing her homework nightly. So please check over your children's homework and make sure it's done, checking for accuracy, etc. Even with your 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, just don't do it for them.
Yeah, just don't do it. Now, 6, encourage your child to read. Read to your child or with your child. Keep a plethora of books in your home and let your child see you reading often. Take field trips to the public library or a bookstore. When your child sees your love for reading, he'll develop that same love, which will make it easier for your child's teacher because readers are leaders.
Yes.
I say that all the time to the scholars. The research shows that children who are read to, sung to, and talked to from a young age develop bigger vocabularies, become better readers, and are more likely to succeed in school.
Did you know that reading consistently strengthens brain's connections in the brain, improves memory and concentration, and may even help you live longer? That almost sounds like a magic pill for success, but it is not magic, it's science. So read to and with your child and encourage them to read on their own because the benefits could literally last a lifetime.
That's right. Now, help your child get and stay organized. Set up a system where they can easily find things like their backpack, their shoes, their uniform, signed notes, etc. Things that they need daily and can set them back in the mornings when they can't find them. Additionally, have a calendar in a central location. I used to keep mine on the wall in the kitchen that has all school events, activities, tests, quizzes, etc. to avoid running into the unexpected. This helps your child teacher because an organized child won't be flustered from being late or upset because they forgot about an important event, activity, or test.
And do things like talk about what's happening this week on Sunday or Monday as a family, which demonstrates to your children the benefit of staying organized and thinking ahead. Stacy has said this maybe more often than anything she has said on Scholarly Speaking Live, and that's children don't do what we say, they do what we do. So let them see you being organized and regimented.
Right, Benny, how many times have we been at the front door and scholars are coming in tears because they forgot to bring a project that they see all the other kids are bringing?
Right.
You know, that sets the child off because their day is already set, unorganized, and now they have to be concerned about the fact that they don't have their project and they're going to get a bad grade. So parents, help your scholars be organized. Finally, parents, be a partner with your child's teacher. We say this all the time at AOS and we mean it. It takes a village to raise a child. Parents and teachers working together are a part of that village, and children should never see a rift between the two. Parents, refrain from saying anything negative about your child's teacher in front of your child. If you have an issue with something regarding your child's teacher, do it privately, not in front of your child. And take everything with a grain of salt. If you don't believe everything they say about us, we won't believe everything they say about you. And we hear a lot.
A lot.
Well, what do you think? What do you do to help your child's teacher? Have you done any of the steps that we discussed today? Did you learn something new from today's episode? Comment and let us know your thoughts on today's topic.
And if you're looking for more information to help you help your child's teacher, go to our website at academyofscholars.com/scholarly speaking resources. In the meantime, we suggest you check out the book, The Parent-Teacher Partnership, How to Work Together for Student Achievement by Scott Mandel. Now, usually our book recommendations are more geared towards parents, but this book is great for both parents and teachers. Mandel's book is an awesome guide offering advice on resolving common points of contention between parents and teachers, plus information on things such as the best at-home environment for doing homework, the helpfulness of parent rewards for classroom performance, and a teacher's role in supporting a student with an at-home crisis. And remember, no matter where you live in the world, you can give your child access to an exceptional Christian affordable education with the Academy of Scholars Premier Online Learning. Not only does the Academy of Scholars give your child the opportunity to engage in school at their own pace, but we also provide a comprehensive curriculum with classes like coding and computer science that will have your child excited about school each day. The Academy of Scholars' premier online learning. It's the online school you've been looking for.
Well, I hope you enjoyed today's live session. To learn more about our amazing school, the Academy of Scholars, please go to our website at academyofscholars.com. Join us next week as we continue our live discussions. Next week, as we gear up for the summer, we'll be talking about things parents can do to prepare their children for the end of the school year. So sad. Until next time, I am Dr. Stacy Lambert-Johnson.
And I'm Benny Crane Jr.
Saying goodbye and be blessed.
The Academy of Scholars. Exceptional, Christian, affordable.